Greetings, morning of what is I think the 22nd day, it's Friday, we're in France, I'm still at Pierre's house, the mill. What's happened? Well, we went this morning to get the van, and the van was fixed. It was a pipe leading from the fuel tank to somewhere else, and that was dripping, so they've sorted that. The van is fixed, we are ready to go again. We've just popped back here to collect a few things and get going. What we hope to do today is journey north. I am hoping as far as the Jura Mountains, where I can see if my friend Christoph Gieser still exists. If not, I'll probably camp near there somewhere and then get going. But it's now up all the way, and really we've kind of done everything we meant to do, so it's just back home. Been an absolutely amazing night yesterday. Absolutely amazing day yesterday. We went to a festival up in the mountains. It's actually like that village's only festival of the year, and there's all these girls in traditional dress. Well, there's guys as well, but the girls was particularly striking. They had these black dresses with coloured shawls and headdresses. Apparently it takes them hours to put them on. They're called tarines. And they parade through the village and then go up to the head of the valley. And what an amazing setting for a fete. You know, you've got this kind of village fete going on, and then behind this incredible alpine scenery with this crashing waterfall. Brilliant. And there was some folk dancing. There was animals. There were guys paragliding off the mountains and into the fete area. It was just brilliant. It was a really, really nice, chilled out day. We also ate at a restaurant run by a friend of Pierre's, a Kiwi, and the food was incredible. Really, really special food. Tom had a chicken dish. I had a kind of trout with goat's cheese salad. Oh, unbelievable stuff. Yeah, really fantastic. And yeah, fantastic, just chilled out day, you know, just chilled out day. The problem is the phone, the battery ran out kind of quite early on in the day, so although Pierre's taken some photos, which is great, I didn't get many photos or videos, which is a shame. So you're just going to have to take my word for it on this. But yeah, so that's that. We're busy charging the phone up in the car now. I'm charging the computer up in Pierre's because he's got a lead that works to it. And we've just done the washing up because I wanted to say thank you to him. It's about the only way I can think of doing that. So yeah, that's that. Also, he's very kindly given me a framed photo that he's done of a North Korean. She's like one of the attendants in the ice rink, and it's really, really powerful image. He's got a version in the house, so I'll show you the version in the house. But it's like, whoa, what an amazing special present that is. So I have to say, Pierre, you have kind of saved our lives. You know, the van screwed up, we could have been in a real mess, and we've actually had 2 fantastic nights and 2 great days with him. And saying it's a guy I met on holiday essentially. Fantastic, absolutely brilliant. We had some really quality chats about travel and various other things. Yeah, it was great. So there we are. In fact, what I will do though now is I will show you that image. So wait a sec. But yeah, he's given us a copy of this, and what a powerful image. That'd be quite nice, drifting down that.
Cyclists help.
Welcome to Switzerland. day.
That is cousin's house.
Might be, I'm not sure.
I doubt it.
It could be.
Could be then.
Oh, that's cool. Now in the village of Lefouet, and yeah, we're around here. Right, this is the house of Famille Guizet, which is Christophe's house, where we stayed a couple of times when we was younger. Just been in there. His dad, Charles-Andre's still there. Looking a lot older than he was before, but he recognised me eventually, and he was like, oh, really pleased. And apparently Chris lives in Tramelan, which is just down the road, so we're going to go there now. We've got an address. Apparently he doesn't write, he doesn't have a telephone, he didn't do any communication stuff, which is pretty much how he was back then. So we're gonna try and find him. Let's go.
Yeah, keep traveling.
Keep traveling. I'm in
69.
69. Probably here then.
73.
Is it?
That's 73.
Bravo.
So it's going higher.
Yeah, but that's what we want, 73. Stop the video.
Je ne peux plus m'en passer, je suis grillé, intoxiqué. Caroline, ma chère, me semble piqueter. Caroline, je suis accro de toi, ma Caroline. Violence leads to pain. Violence leads to freedom.
You did a massive clarinet solo.
Yeah, I heard it. Come.
Every road I ever traveled, every travel I
God bless you.
Tell me about Israel. Tell me about Israel.
Yeah. I love you so much.
Bravo. 22
Love
years.
is in the air. Love is in the air. God bless you, man.
Okay.
Je te baise toujours.
Okay, so this is my blog at what I think is the end of day 22, maybe 21, who knows. I'm walking through the centre of the small town of Tramelan in the Jura Mountains in Switzerland. What can I say? It's been a bit of an emotional day for me. So my job today, my task was to set out to find Christophe Guizet. He's a friend of mine from a long time ago. I didn't even know if he was alive. Basically, I'll tell you the history. So back in 1997, I did some months out on a kibbutz in Israel, and I shared a room with Christophe Guizet and also a Dutch guy, Tom van den Ouden. Now, Tom van den Ouden is still one of my very closest friends. He's the godfather of my son. And we, you know, we are very close, and every time we meet, we always say, like, I wonder what happened with Christophe, you know? Last time I saw him was in 2000. I saw him in 1998 and also 2000, both times in Switzerland. And kind of the last time we saw him, he was a bit screwed up. He was suffering from depression. He had a kind of form of schizophrenia, and it was not a nice thing. But he was, what, in his 20s, so, you know, that's not like people in their 20s. It's a roller coaster ride, yeah? And when we've met, Tom and I, we've said, like, you know what, maybe the guy is not even alive. So I was coming here today thinking maybe I'm going to find a dead guy, you know? I didn't. I went to his house, or the house in the village where his parents live, and I met his father, who, to be quite frank, looked not that well, and a lot older than I remember him. Of course, it was 20 years, well, 19 is the last time I saw him. And his father told me, "Oh, no, Chris," and he gave me his address in Tramelan, which is the next town to Le Fouet, which is where the village is. So we went down, he wasn't in, and there was a girl in the house, and she said, like, yeah, he'll be at the bar by the kebab house. So we found him, he was in there, and it was kind of nice. I mean, it was a pretty wow moment, because I walked in the bar and I got my, like, North Korea t-shirt on, and the guy turns around for the bar and he goes, "Hey, I'm communist," and I just pointed at him and I go, "Christophe Guizet," and he's like, you can say, he's like, "Who the fuck are you, you know, like, who is this guy?" And I go, "Christophe Guizet," and he's like, "Who is this guy?" Mate, it's Matt from Israel, and he's like, "Oh my God," and he's like, there's tears in his eyes, you know, he's like, "Oh my God, I don't believe this," and he's blah 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 in French, and yeah, it was very, very emotional, and it was great to see him again. Absolutely fantastic, but also at the same time pretty soul destroying, because the guy, he's a bit of a wreck, and he's what? I mean, he's older than me, about 5 years. So what is he? Mid-40s, something like that. And the guy's pissed, you know? But it's just not a bad thing. It's a Friday. I'm not an anti-alcohol guy. Hey, I had quite a bit tonight. But, like, I was talking to his cousin and his aunt. They live in the same house. He has a flat, and I said, you know, he's drunk, it's Friday, and then it's every night. He got 3 kids now. I've been in his flat. It's the flat of an alcoholic. It's like there is nothing in there apart from like a fucking mattress, not even a bed for him, and a mattress for the kid that's living with him, and that's it. It's kind of skanky. Like I said to my son, I said, "This is Christophe," and the moment he's out of earshot, because Tom's not stupid, he goes, "That's not what I expected. That is a messed up guy." I expected, I don't know, some kind of responsible guy when I heard he'd got 3 kids, because the dad said he'd got 3 kids. That's a messed up guy. And that kind of hurts, because, like, Chris is a good guy. Like, he's a guy I had a lot of respect for. Like, initially, hey, don't take this the wrong way, Tom. When I met the two, I preferred Tom, like him to Tom, because he was initially more friendly. You know? Over the years, me and Tom, we developed a very good relationship. But, like, initially, Chris was the welcoming one, you know? He's a fucking great guy. Like, he's a very good-hearted guy. He's an eminently likable guy. And when my son turns round and says, and with the innocence of a child, like, "That's a fucking messed up guy, Dad." Like, I didn't think you'd be taking me to meet a messed up guy. Okay, what do you do? And the thing is, like, I can't disagree with him, because the moment I look at him, I say, "Fuck, Chris, mate. Not you've aged like your father's aged, like, dude, you're a mess." What do you do with that? It's like, and the thing is, I'm a religious man, as you know, and, like, I don't know, like, he's a good guy. Like, God made this guy a nice guy, but he always made him susceptible to this kind of addiction. He was a very addictive guy, you know, like, he took a lot of drugs when he was younger. I don't think he's doing that now, but he don't need to. The alcohol's fucking him up on its own. On one hand, I'm glad nothing's seen it, because there's a lesson about what is addiction like. Yeah, enjoy your drink. I have nothing against drinking. Nothing. But you know what? There's drinking and there's an addiction, and they're 2 different things. And, like, we had nothing to talk about. Like, I spent most of the evening listening to music. not catching up with my friend. Now with my cousin, who I knew probably far, well, I did know far less. Pierre I knew far less. I mean, I met Pierre on one holiday, you know, that's the kind of sum total of my relationship with Pierre. We had loads to talk about. But Chris, what the fuck have you done? What the fuck have you done for 20 years? You stood in bars. That's what you've done. And you've got nothing to talk about. And it's heartbreaking. It's like, I'm kind of really upset about this. Because I so wanted to see Chris. And I so wanted to spend time with Chris. And I found Chris. And yet Chris isn't there. But he is there. But he's not there. And the nearest thing I can relate it to, and this might sound like a weird thing to say, is Alzheimer's. And that does sound like kind of fucked up. But, like, my gran had Alzheimer's, and I spent a lot of time and I did a lot of stuff for my gran. But for the last year or so of her life, maybe more, maybe 2-3 years probably, I didn't see anything of it. And I didn't even feel guilty about it because she wasn't there. Like, I did stuff with her until she was there. But then she was, like, still alive, but not there. And that's how I feel with Chris. It's like, he's alive, but that ain't Chris. And I don't know, is this selfish of me? I don't know what to think. I don't want to remember that guy that I met tonight. Not that there was anything bad about him, because there wasn't. He was friendly, he was welcoming, he bought me drinks. But he had nothing in his head except, where's the next drink coming from? Now, we rang Tom, and Tom, you know, we had a chat with Chris, and obviously it was a lot shorter than me, because it was like, hey Tom, hey man, you're a good man, yeah. And I appreciate there's a language barrier, yeah, I get that. But in the end, I spoke to Tom, and I'm like, dude, it's like, the guy's fucked. And Tom says to me, he says, yeah, I want to remember the guy that we knew. That ain't him. So, what can I say about this final night in Switzerland? Well, it's been a good night. I listened to some amazing music. Fantastic band. I got on really well with the locals. And it was kind of like a throwback to my student days when I would come back to places like, you know, I'd go to Zurich, where Tom lived. I'd go to places like this, and like you're kind of something exotic. Like, they don't see that shit normally, and you get to chat to all the locals. It's brilliant, and it was such great fun, and I really enjoyed that side of it. But Chris was there and not. I had a better relationship with some of just random locals I met, because all Chris was doing was drinking. He hadn't, I don't know. It's upsetting, and in a way, I'm glad my son's seeing that, because that's how addiction can take an almost perfect person, because Chris was that good. He was such an amazing guy, and totally, utterly fucked them up. But at the same time, I'm also like, I wish you hadn't seen that, because you will never look on that guy with respect. And I actually had a huge amount of respect for Chris, and in a way, I kind of love the guy. You know, we lived together for several months. I saw him after. I don't know. I'm happy and I'm sad, but actually, I'm more sad. I'm crying. I don't know. I can't say anymore. So, that's it from Tramelan in Switzerland. Keep traveling, if you can be honest.